Well, we all know the classic Wizard of Oz tale. How about a contemporary twist on the movie with a comic book?
Columbus writer and filmmaker Angelo Thomas will soon be releasing his first comic book, Somewhere, on Wednesday, March 11th. Thanks for joining us, Angelo. We appreciate you being in the studio with us today.
Thanks for inviting me.
Yeah, I know this is Somewhere, your first comic book. What gave you the idea to kind of create a contemporary twist on the famous Wizard of Oz tale?
Yeah, well, I've always loved The Wizard of Oz. It was my favorite movie growing up. And, I never really saw myself reflected in stories like that. Growing up, one of my parents was incarcerated, and that was an experience that I just never saw reflected in films or books. Mm-hmm. And so I always knew that I was going to do something related to The Wizard of Oz in my career. I feel like it was sort of inevitable, but I had an idea to start writing a story that was about the child of an incarcerated parent, and I found a lot of themes that were similar to The Wizard of Oz, and so oddly it just felt like an organic fit, and so it sort of became this contemporary reimagining.
Oh, that's interesting.
Nice.
Yeah, describe that a little bit about, how some of the plot parts there, and how it relates to The Wizard of Oz, and how it relates to some of the things that you went through.
Yeah, so this version follows 11-year-old Dorothy Gale as she runs away from home in rural Ohio to find her estranged father in Columbus. And along the way, she meets some friends who help her find the heart and brains and courage that it takes to face the truth about her father, which is that he's incarcerated. And so, yeah, it takes place right here in Columbus, which, I'm not from Columbus, but I've lived here for about 10 years, and it's certainly become home for me. So it was really nice to be able to set it here, and also parts of rural Ohio, which I think there's a lot of beauty in.
Oh, absolutely. Now I know what's exciting is you're releasing this book on Wednesday, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so very exciting. And then you have a book signing following that?
Yeah, there'll be a book signing a week from today at the Laughing Ogre comic book store in Clintonville. It'll be from 12 to 2. Mm-hmm. I'll be there. The illustrator, Rebecca Butterworth, will be there. So hopefully people come check it out.
Yeah.
Talk to us a little bit about those challenges of children of incarcerated adults go through. What is it like, and why did those themes resonate with you?
Yeah, I think it's challenging for everybody involved. I think it's challenging for the family. I think it's challenging, certainly, for the child. There's no instruction manual for how to handle these situations.
Right.
And so I think when I was thinking about my experience, I found a lot of compassion for my parents and how they handled it. How much information do you give your kid about what's going on? What is the communication like between the child and the parent during that time? It's really difficult, and it's just I imagine a lot of people go through this, and I think that to have a story that is appropriate for young audiences and can hopefully provide some comfort and visibility, I think is great.
So are you working on any other types of writing, any other books, comic books, things like that?
Well, I would love to make this into a film. I'm a filmmaker first and foremost, and I actually started writing this as a film before I had the idea to make it into a comic. So I would love to make it as a film, hopefully within the next year. And I think it would be great to shoot it here in Columbus. So fingers crossed for that. But otherwise, I always have things that I'm working on.
Have you gotten started on kind of like the filmmaking process and reached out to some folks in the community that could help you with that?
Yeah, I've applied to some grants. So I'm hoping to get some grant funding to make it. It would be ideally this summer would be amazing. But we'll see. If not, I have other things that I can move on to, certainly. But especially after seeing it in comic book form, I feel like the panels almost act as storyboards for what the film could be. So to be able to see it all laid out visually, I think I could hit the ground running tomorrow, if I had the funding to make it.
Right.
What's reception been like? I know it kind of is released. It hasn't been released yet, but what do you? Has anyone said, "Oh yeah, this would be great for"? I imagine. ODRC. I'm just thinking they would totally be interested in something like this. It would strike me as, what I mean.
Yeah, I would say that amongst Wizard of Oz fans, the reception has been great.
Sure.
People love all the Easter eggs and references and things like that. And also people close to me who have read it, I think, see a lot of myself reflected in it, which is cool. But I'm excited to see how, people that I don't know react to it and what they take away from it.
Okay, so again, we'll be able to get our hands on your comic book starting on Wednesday, right?
Yep, it'll be on, you can order it from Amazon, Barnes & Noble, or the Book Loft in German Village. And then, or you can wait until Saturday and come see us at the Laughing Ogre at the book signing.
Okay, what time will that be?
It'll be from noon to 2.
Noon to 2. So check them out noon to 2 next Saturday at the Laughing Ogre, you said?
Yep, Laughing Ogre.
Perfect.
Terrific.
Well, thanks so much for coming in.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Love chatting with you.
All right, let's talk to Sarah right now about the forecast and the possibilities of severe weather today.